What is going on, guys? This is Danny with His and Her Teslas, and we have some big news today with Tesla and all things Model 3 and a few things not Model 3. So Tesla made a big announcement today. Elon has been teasing for a couple days now an announcement coming today at 2 p.m., which as of right now it's 6:51 p.m. Eastern time. And as you can see here, this is the Model 3 page on Tesla.com, and a few things have changed. First and foremost, they have released the standard range Model 3 for $35,000. So if you take a look here, it does show $26,950, but that $26,950 is including all the savings that Tesla calculates, which are a little bit misleading because they do factor in gas prices and the tax credit, which is not really what you're paying up front. This is your cash price up front at the bottom left before savings. So when you go ahead and start adding everything up, and ignore that number, I'm going to make it $35,000 now. I was configuring a model earlier, so I believe it's showing a higher price. So if you add the standard range, you click next, you go with the base black color, the standard aero wheels, standard interior, which we'll get back to that and talk a little bit more about that. Remove the autopilot, and there you go. You're at $35,000 before any tax credit. So they've done it. They've promised it for a couple years now, and they're finally able to deliver on it. But this is not the biggest news. We'll talk a little bit about the features itself. So for the $35,000, you do get the standard range battery, which is 220 miles with 130 mile an hour top speed and a 5.6 second 0 to 60. People were really wanting to see what the interior package was going to look like. So here we go. You have your standard colors as you do in all the other options. So here's a standard interior here. So with the standard interior, you're losing quite a bit. The most notable thing being the center console. They've removed the dock for the phones. It's just an open hole without any doors or flaps. So it's just an open hole. You lose the charging dock. You also lose the automatic seats and the automatic steering wheel. As you can see here, it's a manual seat and a manual steering adjustment. You get the cloth seats and a base trim, so no leather seats, it's just cloth now, and cloth accents on the door panels, if you can see there as well on the left. You get the basic audio, so you lose the premium audio speakers, which were like the tweeters and other speakers that were up here on the top columns, and I'm sure across the dashboard. You do have the standard roof, which people thought you weren't going to get the glass roof that was standard on the premium package in the long range, but you do. You still get the tinted glass roof. Music and media over Bluetooth. That makes me think that you don't get the web-connected music, like you don't get like the TuneIn Radio or Slacker. That's not included. And that's pretty much it for the interior. It doesn't look like you get the wood trim anymore. It's just a black dashboard material, just a regular black matte color. And then the next biggest thing is the autopilot functions. Now, at first, I was upset because I felt, man, I paid almost $6,000 for this option a few months ago when I got my car, and now it's $3,000. But if you read closely, they've stripped down the basic autopilot. So it's not called enhanced autopilot anymore. It's not just called autopilot. It's $3,000. You don't get the navigate on autopilot that comes with the enhanced autopilot. You don't get auto parking, and you don't get summon. So it's basically just your standard braking and accelerating and your steering, auto steering. So they've stripped it down and made it a little bit more affordable. But if you want those features that were part of EAP, which was enhanced autopilot before, you gotta opt now for an extra $5,000 to get the full self-driving capability. I am waiting to see what they're going to do. I think that they're going to grandfather in people who purchased the enhanced autopilot, and they're going to grandfather you into the full self-driving, because anyone who has enhanced autopilot already has 90% of these features already. The only feature that we don't have, which nobody has yet, is the actual full self-driving, which is, driving on city streets and recognizing traffic lights and stop signs. So that is something no one has. But if you already paid $5,000 or $6,000, some people paid $7,000 for EAP when they had raised the price up to about $7,000 for a while. are you really gonna pay $7,000 for that and then an extra $5,000 for full self-driving when you have 90% of the features? I don't think so. My idea or my belief is that they're gonna grandfather those who have EAP into full self-driving, and then possibly refund those people who purchased the full self-driving for the extra I think it was $2,500 to $3,000 more. And if you do that, you lose the free upgrade to the hardware 3. They're gonna give people that option, kind of like how they did with the performance model. So the people who paid the extra $5,000 for the premium performance package or whatever it was, they had an option of getting that $5,000 refunded when Tesla lowered the price, or keeping their supercharging. So I think that's kind of what's gonna happen here, because I don't see Tesla asking people who already paid $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for EAP for an additional $5,000 for essentially what it turns out to be is just the full self-driving, which is recognizing traffic lights and stop signs, and automatic driving on city streets, which you can already do automatic driving on city streets. You just kind of, it's not turning at intersections, if that's what they mean. So that's what I think is going to happen. I don't foresee them coming out with a cheaper version of full self-driving as an upgrade to those who already have EAP. That could be an option as well. Maybe a $2,500 option instead of $5,000 to get those missing features added onto EAP. But who knows? So there's a lot that went on today. They also, let's go back to the front page, because they also made some changes to the existing models. So you do have, as you can see here, a standard range plus, which is basically the standard range model with the premium package, the premium interior package added on. Well, a partial premium interior. You don't get all the options. And then you have your premium interior packages, which we've always had, which was the mid-range and the long range. Now they did bring back the long range rear-wheel drive, because for a while, if you wanted the rear-wheel drive, you had to get the dual motor, or you had to get the dual motor or the performance. Actually, the performance was actually always all-wheel drive. So yeah, the only way to get the rear-wheel drive was to either get the mid-range or the, that was it. You had to get the mid-range. I believe that's what it was, yeah. So moving forward now, they have a premium package for mid-range and long-range, which have also gone down in price. And then you have now a long-range dual motor and a long-range dual motor performance. So there's different options now for every price tier, for every demographic. What I do like though is that those who had the long-range rear-wheel drive, as you can see here at the bottom, you now got bumped up to 325-mile range, which is excellent. And they bumped up your top speed, and they added 5% of total power to the vehicle. And that's going to be coming over a firmware update soon. So that's great. You automatically get a little boost. So now your 90% charging for daily driving is going to be somewhere in the 293 range, and your maximum range for road trips is going to be 325. So those are all pretty cool little upgrades, and kind of makes those of us who are a little salty about the price drop, because honestly, for what I paid for my car, even though I bought it private party, I could have got the same car for around the same price, but new with 0 miles on it, with these price drops. So those of you who are a little bit upset about it, it's the price you pay for being an early adopter. So I've enjoyed the car now for 4 or 5 months, and I wouldn't take back anything. Aside from that, they did make some small changes to the Model X pricing. I didn't check the Model S to see if they made any changes on the Model S, but I do realize that they did decrease the price a little bit on the Model X long range. So aside from that, guys, I just wanted to do this quick video with a quick update on some of the new pricing tiers that they have now for the Model 3. If you were waiting for that $35,000 model, which you still can qualify for that $3,750 tax credit, you're getting a Model 3 for under $32,000 when it's all said and done, and it still looks great. But yeah, I mean, it's people who, I feel bad for people who had the pre-order for all those years, for 2 years now, who were trying to get the front of the line. The line was pointless now, because anyone ordering one today will get it delivered within 2 weeks, unfortunately for those who waited this long. But you got your $35,000 Tesla, and it's going to make a lot of people happy. So I'm eager to see what some of you guys think about the new pricing structure, the new Autopilot, pricing changes, and if you think that they are going to adopt that grandfathered in mindset where they'll take the people who had EAP and put you into the full self-driving, which is what I'm hoping, crossing my fingers. Leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to be covering this in depth for the foreseeable future. I'm thinking about purchasing a standard range Model 3 for my Turo business. I'm starting now with my Model X as well, which I'll be doing a video as well on the Model X. I haven't showed you guys it yet, but more to come. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.